Welcome.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to the Armoury show.
It's still good to be a goon, eh?
It's still good to be a gooner. I'm not sure if my heart can take many more of those games. I tell you what, that was nail-biting stuff.
Yeah, so much for my 5-0 prediction.
Yeah, it was a real battle, that was, wasn't it? Like a real,
Yeah.
they had to dig really deep to get that. And fair play to Leeds. Ugh, I hate saying that, but they actually played really, really well. They really came at us.
Yeah,
But,
they actually deserved something out of that game, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair play to them. But it's I mean, if you really want to be on top there, it's one of those ugly wins, and you have to take those.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there'll be more of them. As long as we keep getting the wins, that's the main thing.
Exactly, it's the 3 points that counts. I mean, we can do these other games. We can play well.
Did you imagine off the first 10 games we would have won 9? Did you ever imagine that before the season started?
No, I mean, to be honest, I would have been happy with maybe 6 wins and a couple of draws. Obviously, I mean, we played Liverpool, which I put down as a loss. If I was honest, predicting that, I think we'd lose to Liverpool. Would we play Spurs? I probably put that down to a draw before the season. I wouldn't think we'd beat them. And yeah, then probably like we played Brentford or Crystal Palace. I probably think we'd lose one of those tricky away fixtures. But yeah.
Here we are, 1-9. Oh, and a record is still intact as well. The Invincibles record is still intact.
Yeah,
for another season at least.
You know what we should be is that if a team breaks that record, it's us. Or if a team does it again, it's us. But
nice,
it would be nice to do it again.
Yeah, Man United have ruined it for us this season.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's. What have we got coming on the show? Standard layout, really. It's the anagram first. We'll have a roundup of the weekend results and predictions. Then we'll get into the Leeds Arsenal game. We've got some audience questions where you guys in the audience can ask the panel whatever questions you want, really. And you can win a prize for the best question. Then we'll have a little quiz of a few questions there, and then we'll look ahead at the upcoming fixtures against PSV and Southampton, and then an update on the predictor game. And at the end of the show, we'll just announce the winner of the question of the show.
Okay, what is tonight's anagram? Oh, don't forget Ronnie. Join Ronnie's podcast on Spotify. You can even catch it on the website. Ronnie talks about everything Arsenal from the women's team. He covers the women's team as well as any news Arsenal related. It comes out every Friday. So yeah, be on the lookout for that on the Arsenal Cape Town website.
I guess we better bring. The anagram first. Decided Grimlock is the anagram. If you know what that is, just drop it in the comments. And you've got until towards the end of the show when we reveal the answer. I guess we should bring people on because otherwise we might drop off.
Yeah, they might drop off. We've got Charlie, Gavin, and Mark. Hey, how's it,
guys?
Hello.
Evening, boys.
Good weekend, guys.
Yeah, I guess so.
In the end.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how no one's really enthusiastic about the fact that we've actually won 9 games out of 10?
I think we're all shocked.
I think it's like, yeah. You know.
Yeah.
I think
the problem will be if we get injuries now, guys. I'm still not convinced the squad's got the depth of sort of City or Liverpool, and if we get injuries to key players, like Jesus or Party again, or even Saliba. You know, I think we may struggle a little bit. But hey, look, let's ride the wave while we're still going.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. A quick question then. Do you reckon our B team could beat any Premiership team?
No,
No.
not
What?
City.
Maybe Forest.
Could our B team beat any Premiership team, do you think? Maybe
Oh, do you think they
Forest.
can beat any of them?
Can-
Yeah, oh yeah, certainly the sides at the bottom they can beat. I think the
Right.
Forest are poor. You know, Wolves are not great at the moment, although they won at the weekend. Southampton are not a great side, or you know, but yeah, I think the midweek team, is that what you're saying? The team that will play Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
An away game might be a little bit of a step too far for them, potentially. Away game at a Premiership team, Southampton, for example, who are poor, but I don't know if we could beat them with that team. That's my thoughts. So a roundup of the fixtures at the weekend. Did any of you guys see any of the other games? Anyone see the? Oh, okay. We'll go back in time a bit further to that Europa game that everyone seems to forget about, including me. That was not the greatest match in the world, was it? Did you guys? Any of you guys see that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about, is this what you referred to as the Arsenal B team? I mean, the Europa League team, because I mean,
kind of,
they're still getting the results. You know, I mean, that's the thing. Is that is you know play 3-1-3. You know, we are there. You know, and of course, you know, you got to temper it against the time the sides in these leagues, but it's still European, you know, competition. And I think you can't ignore the fact that this so-called B team, you know, with the help of Martinelli and a few of the others that are coming on when they need to, it's still getting the job done. I mean, we could well win this, by the way. You know, which
what
means
Europa, Gavin? You're talking about? Are you talking about winning the Europa League?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it depends who drops out the Champions League. You know, at the moment, potentially Barcelona and Juventus could be in the knockout at the moment.
Right.
And you know, yeah, it's gonna. I agree. We're playing okay because the team will get stronger the further we go in the competition. We'll put a stronger side out. But yeah, towards the sort of quarterfinal, maybe the semi-final and the final, we'll need the full first team out if we're going to win it. It'll be quite tough.
With the fixtures piling up towards the end of the season as well. I mean, it's going to be pretty testing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, Alex, just the one thing, I mean, I noticed with this game, we had a stronger lineup than probably most of us would have expected. So I don't think we've really seen a proper B team. So Arteta's been playing the regulars like Saliba and Odegaard started, Saka started. So there's quite a strong core. So I'm not sure he's really given the team the luxury of having a break yet. I mean, and I think after this weekend's fixture, I think we're going to see some players like getting proper breaks, because it definitely showed traveling to Norway and then coming back against Leeds. I mean, we weren't top form against Leeds, and Leeds was strong, but I think probably the traveling and whatnot and the fact the guys have played such a lot counted against them.
Yeah,
so
it was a tough game.
See the B team now.
It was a really tough game in Bodo. You've got to remember they've won 14 games on the bounce at home, and it's bloody cold up there this time of year. And it would have been an artificial pitch as well. It wasn't an easy game up there, and it was a really good result to go there and win. So, you know, credit where it's due. But you know, as George has put there, the problem is that, you know, when you're playing the same, say, 16 players, and you know, people are going to get tired and they'll pick up injuries. Therefore. And that could come back to bite us later in the season unless we make a couple of signings in January.
Yeah.
Do you think that we will, once we've got the points in the bag in the Europa League? Because bear in mind we've got 3 fixtures left, haven't we? And other teams below us, I think, have played 4 games already, and they've only got 2 fixtures left. I think we only need 1 point or 2 points maybe to guarantee qualification into the next round. Do you think once we've bagged those points, we do play a proper B team and rest the first players completely?
Yeah, look, the one thing I would say is that the objective now with those likely players coming in from or teams from the Champions League is getting the top spot. Yes, I think once top spot is secured, he maybe goes gung-ho and plays all of the juniors. So I think our qualification is probably secured, but I think we need top spot in order to avoid these big teams coming down from the Champions League.
We've got to beat PSV on Thursday at home. Really, that's the thing. Because if we win that, we'll be fine. We'll have 12 points. They'll only have 7, and we've got Zurich to play at home as well, who are rubbish, absolute rubbish. So, if we win Thursday, I agree. I think the second game against PSV away, he probably will give a lot of players a rest and not play them.
Yeah. So looking at the table now, if we beat PSV on Thursday, we qualify. Then it just would do in first or second. So win Thursday, he can pull out a full strength or full beating and lead.
But you want to end at the top of the group. I mean, and I think that win against PSG will do that.
Yeah, we've got to win the group because otherwise we won't be seeded for the next round, and we'll end up getting one of the tougher games.
Yeah, what we've got to do to get that then? We've got to win 1 and draw 2, haven't we, to get to guarantee top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So going into the weekend fixtures, anyone see any of those games?
What did I
watched Match of the Day. Yeah, I watched all the games on Match of the Day, Alex, and as usual.
What did you feel about the Liverpool City score?
Well, it did us a favour. It was a great result for us, wasn't it? With City losing. I thought they were a bit unlucky, City, to be fair. And Liverpool were a bit lucky, but that's the way it goes. We were lucky against Leeds, and we haven't had a lot of luck this, for VAR. But we had a bit of luck yesterday. Liverpool were lucky as well, but it's a great result for us. That's the thing. I think we've got to be careful of the Spuds. They're creeping up as well. So. They're still not going away, are they?
Yeah, they keep grinding out wins, don't they? And they don't look particularly amazing. They've never. I don't think they've looked particularly amazing this season at all.
Well, my friends who are Tottenham fans, because I live in North London, as you know, and I've got a lot of friends who are Tottenham fans. They say they're playing crap football. I don't like watching it. It's poor, typical Conte football. But they're winning, so they're putting up with it and accepting it. That's the thing. But let's wait and see.
The best part about the Liverpool City game was Klopp getting sent off. Does that mean that he has like 3-game ban?
I don't know how many game ban it is. Does anyone know? Is it just a single game ban, or is it multiple?
I'm not sure.
But there's a picture of him with the middle finger. I mean, he was clearly just lost the plot completely. As he does. But that was really funny.
His post-match interview was very apologetic, and he was like, he acknowledged he crossed the line, so he didn't make any objections that he deserved a red. But I don't know. We need to see how many games they. But I think they fine them. I don't think he's managed to get fined eventually. It's like you missed the match and you. Oh, remember we didn't Arteta get a red card in one of our games last season and.
I remember Wenger sitting out for 3 games or so. Then we're going back.
I remember Wenger getting a red card.
Just getting back to the Tottenham Everton game. I mean, Everton were just so crap. They never really gave them the test that, and even when they were playing like a poorer team, they were still sitting back. Parking the bus after a goal, and waiting for the break. I mean, that's the Conte way. It isn't great football. But they are getting the results, as Mark was saying, and that's how many points are they behind us now in third? They keep on.
We will check the log.
Do you think Liverpool have sort of exposed City? Do you think that there's now a sort of a clear way to beat City after that win for them yesterday?
It's hard to say because when Haaland is not scoring hat tricks and he's not scoring anything, and it was his fault that the goal was disallowed, So, but I think it does show that they're not, they're beatable, and I think that every other team in the league must look at that and go, well, hang on, this is not the invincible as you referred to, Alex, and they are beatable, and I think that's a good sign, certainly for us and other teams in the top four.
Sure.
Do you think when we
Spurs are 4 points behind us, Alex? By the way, Spurs are 4 points behind us, the same as City, 23 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair enough. Do you guys think that Newcastle are going to be one of the tough teams to beat? Are they potentially contenders for top four? Looking at how they played against Man United, and they've got a decent depth in squad now as well. Potential challenges.
They bought well. They bought some good players, haven't they? And they fit. Rather than just throw cash at it, they've actually thought about it a bit. And the players they've bought have all seemed to have fitted in. Well, apart from Isak, who's been injured since he's been there, but other than that, defensively, Trippier's been a good buy. The goalkeeper's done well. Dan Burns done well. They've actually got a half a decent side, and they're going to be tough to beat at home. So, to answer your question is, they ain't going to lose many games at St James's Park. They're going to win most of them because of the crowd and the atmosphere.
Well, they're going to
be close. They're going to be up there.
Yeah, they've only lost one game so far, haven't they? I think.
Let's have a look. Yes, you're right. Yeah, they've played 10-1-3, drew 6.
And they've played some tough teams already, haven't they? So.
Yeah, Newcastle are going to be tougher. I mean, I must remember when we played them last year. I mean, they cost us our spot in Champions League. I mean, they at their stadium are a team to face here. So they've got some really good things, very similar to the way Arteta's building in terms of the atmosphere. I don't think the same quality, but yeah, I think Newcastle are going to get stronger as the season progresses.
So looking at the table there, a little bit of information here for you. There is as many points between us and Man City as there is between Liverpool and 17th. There you go.
Fascinating fact there.
Early in the season, maybe, but I'll take it. So, who got the predictions right?
Naseem 5-0 to Leeds. Got to hang your head in shame, young man.
Shit.
Well, I got the glimpse score right. There we go. But didn't. I don't think anyone got the Leeds score right, did they? So everyone thought we were going to come out and smash Leeds, but apart from George thought it's going to be a close one, but I think the rest of us thought it was going to be an easy win, and it definitely wasn't.
Not at all.
Looking at the bottom of the table, who's going to be sacked first? Brendan Rodgers, Steve Gerrard, or Steve Cooper?
No.
They're going to get rid of Cooper. They're just giving him a 5-year contract. Yeah. So there's no way that he's going. Which is a strange decision, but hey,
yeah, he's just literally spent is it about 100 million or so he's spent at Forest?
Well, I think it was the head of recruitment got sacked, didn't he? So they obviously not very happy about some of the players that they've bought. But
right,
I don't think that was anything to do with him. It seemed a strange decision to give him a 5-year contract when they've won one game in the bottom of the league. But yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers they'd sack him at Leicester, but they haven't got the money. They're skint, aren't they? So. Obviously, Hassan Hoople's hanging on by his fingernails. Yeah, Villa, Steve Gerrard's under a lot of pressure. And Lampard, okay, Everton they're 14th, but they're a poor team. But Villa are dreadful, particularly at the back. And
I've heard Stevie G's lost the fans a little bit as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think he might struggle. I think the owners have flown over as well, haven't they, from Villa? So, I don't expect him to be around that much longer.
Look, just one thing on Leicester. I think Brendan Rodgers. I caught some of that Crystal Palace game for Leicester, and I mean they put in performance. I thought they were but unlucky. So I don't know. I think Brendan Rodgers has some things going for him. I don't know if that guy we're chasing, the Brazilian, at the end of the window, has signed a contract extension. I heard some rumors that that there's some movement. I mean, they've managed to hold on to the other Belgian that we were also chasing. So I don't know. I think Brendan Rodgers and the owners there are reaching some agreements to kind of move forward. So I don't think he'll get the job very quickly. I think a lot of their prize assets are dependent on Brendan Rodgers staying in place. But yeah.
It'll be a bit harsh on him. They haven't got any goals in the team. That's the problem. Vardy's finished at top level now. His legs have gone. And the other players they've got up there, Iheanacho and that, is it Daka? They're not very good. They're not really up to it. And they haven't got enough goals, and they're shipping goals in at the back. Soyuncu's not played hardly all season, and he's pretty solid. But they've looked very poor at the back and let lots of goals. Goalkeeper's rubbish at Leicester as well. So, they're going to struggle.
Is it that the owners are refusing to spend more money, or is it that they don't have the money to spend at the moment? Do you know? Does anyone know?
I think I heard a rumor, Alex, that they've lost a load of money out in Thailand or wherever it is. Their casinos are not making the money, or they've lost a lot of money out there on the airlines, I think, and they haven't got the money to put in. That's what it boils down to.
I suppose during because the King Power stuff, that is duty free, isn't it, over in Thailand?
Yeah, that's it.
I presume that's got absolutely hammered during COVID, hasn't it?
Yeah, because nobody was going through the airport, so they didn't make any money. That's basically what it boils down to, I think. So that you got it right. Yeah.
So let's get into it. The Leeds game from yesterday. That was a hard graft. Do you guys think that was our most difficult win this season?
Yeah, we were lucky. We were lucky that VAR was working. We didn't play that well. Yeah, well, what was Gabriel doing at the end? I mean, that was stupidity. I mean, we'll talk about it no doubt in a minute. But, the Leeds played well. And obviously they made a bad mistake for the goal. But we didn't really create that much. We didn't look dangerous. We didn't look as though we were going to score lots of goals yesterday. And they did. Every time they attacked, they looked dangerous, particularly second half when Bamford came on. Yeah. And Ramsdale had a good game. Made a couple of saves. Saliba messed up for the penalty. It was definitely a penalty. So you couldn't really argue with that. It was handball. Gabriel's got a lot of stick about making mistakes. But looking at his stats today, he actually had a reasonably decent game. But, he could have cost us just with his stupidity at the end there. He's obviously just blocked Bamford off. And Bamford's taken a dive. And, as he's fallen over, then he's put his foot up. And another day, that could have been a penalty and it would have been a draw. So we were a bit fortunate yesterday, but look, a win's a win. So, hey.
Yeah. Did our players look tired?
Look, I don't know, maybe I like what we said earlier on about Arteta pushing this team to its limits, right? And I think with a young team, definitely with their win streak, winning whatever, 9 out of 10 games, excluding the European matches, we are reaching the limit of this team, right? That's kind of to be accepted, but we still don't know what the limit is. And for me, this game against Leeds, the way we won that game after traveling and the type of game it was, and obviously this was the game we were least prepared for, given time available to prepare for this run of games. So the Leeds game, the fact we got the result means we broke through some barriers. Yeah. So this team has grown. I'm hoping the manager really gives some players some time off this week, just go and take a break and try and put another string together. But I don't know, I thought this was the biggest result of the season, especially off the back of the big matches that we had against Spurs, against Liverpool, and then traveling away to Norway, traveling the game to Bodo, Clint, whatever. For us to get the result, a win, no matter how scrappy, no matter how lucky, it is a massive statement. It's the biggest win. I think it's the one that we have to celebrate the team with the most. It's this is the biggest reason for me to believe this team is going to do something really extraordinary this year, bigger than the fact that we got a result against Spurs or Liverpool. So it's a massive, massive game, and I don't know, I'm very excited to see where this team goes to from here, because that was a major, guys. I don't think we can understate how big a win that was, given the fact that Leeds were like up for this. I mean, I read some stuff that they had prepared for this game whole week. I mean, I read some stuff like they said Arteta normally when he prepares for certain type of styles of play, he like literally through repetition gets the team to create certain passing patterns to play through the press. And I can just imagine that there was no time for the team to prepare for the press that Leeds had prepared for us. Yeah, so literally the team went out there and just on pure guts had to grant the result, and they got it. Like, I mean, credit to them proper.
Were you guys surprised to see Tomiyasu at left back again? Gavin, do you want to answer that?
I can't say I was surprised, but I really felt that he didn't have a good game at all. I mean, he was really at a loss for a lot of stuff and caught wanting, and putting pressure on the back, especially with the press. He wasn't coping with the press at all, and I think that's an alarming sign. Just to carry on from what Charlie was saying, I think these kind of games, when we haven't seen an Arsenal team that scraps like this, that really fights till the very end and scraps out that win. And these are the kind of things that leaders and league winners do. They have to do these kind of games. I mean, yes, we celebrated against Spuds and Liverpool, but this was ironically the harder game out of all of them. But a bit of luck or whatever the case is, it still shows that this team has the grit, that it does what it needs to do. And we got through this game with the result, and it's going to be followed by Southampton and Norwich, or Forest, I should say. So, we should get another 6 points out of the next two games. Then there's Chelsea, which is another supposed big test. So it's I think it's good science. I mean, I think that there's a lot of positivity that we can take out of the weekend, and we shouldn't be looking all glum about the fact that it was a hard game and we came through and we got the points. End of. That's my view anyway.
Do you guys think that it's only a matter of time with the squad that we have before those wins start to turn to losses? And also, do you think that we do need additional cover? And if so, where do we need it?
Where do we need it? Well, we need another centre forward, mate, somewhere. I mean, I don't know whether we can still get that Ferran Torres from Barcelona. He scored in the derby yesterday, didn't he? But Nketiah's all right for 10 minutes at the end of a game. But as I say, if Jesus is out for any length of time, we're going to struggle to score goals. Saka and Martinelli are playing well, but Jesus holds it all together. He's the sort of glue in the middle. Partey's obviously we know he's injury prone. He could fall out any time, and then you've got a bit in Lokonga. So going back to what we were saying earlier, we still need a central midfield player, another quality one. Obviously, Louise has signed a contract at Villa now, so we're not going to get him. But we might get Tielemans still, and I think Tielemans is a decent player. But I don't know why that deal hasn't been done. If we wanted to do it, why didn't we do it? So those are the two positions that we're really sort of short in: a goal scorer and a central midfield. I think we're okay at fullback. We've got Ben White, we've got Tomiyasu, we've got Tierney, we've got Zinchenko. We've got three decent centre halves and Rob Holding as well as backup, and he's all right. Rob Holding, I don't think he's a superstar, but he's okay. So we probably could do with a winger. That Marquinhos had a great game in the first game in Europe, didn't he? But he wasn't very good against Bodo, so I don't know whether he's too young yet.
Didn't start either again in the away leg, did he? Do you think he's fallen out of favour?
Arteta was very unhappy with him in one of the games, wasn't he? He gave him a bollocking because he wasn't tracking back and picking up players and things. So maybe he's young, but Alex, he's 19, isn't he? So
yeah. Do you think a loan spell would do him good next season?
Probably, yeah. But we need to strengthen the squad. We can't really be sending anybody else out on loan at the moment. Because the squad's not strong enough as it is. So I wouldn't want to see anybody out. Just going back to the point you made about Tomiyasu, he played very well against Liverpool, remember, and shut Salah up, and they took Salah off. So that's why he played him left back again. But in my opinion, if Tierney's fit, then Tierney should start, and you've got to probably play Tommy at right back, and then alternate between the other three in the middle. With Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White, and just play 2 out of them 3 and have the other one on the bench, so that then you're rotating the squad and you're giving people a bit of a rest. That's what I'd be doing. But then again, I'm not Mr. Arteta, am I? So. Do
you think Matt Turner's good enough for backup keeper? It's a question to all of you. Yes.
I thought in the Bodo game he played well. I mean, he looks
man in the match, wasn't he, in the Bodo game?
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know, and not just with his saves, the guy could distribute the ball from the back. So he do right. I think maybe the first game he came on for us, the pressure of making the move and whatnot wasn't settled. He was a bit nervous, but I don't know. I think just based off that Bodo game, he really stepped up. So probably, I don't know, gives me some degree of confidence that he can, carry the team, especially in that competition, maybe. Yeah.
He's got really seen enough of him, really, Alex, but he's done all right when he's played. So
yeah.
Right,
should we get into some audience questions? Naseem, we got a list.
Do we win a black label? What's this?
You actually, if your question is the best, you will win a set of glasses, not just one glass. It's a set of 6, is it, Naseem?
Yes, it is a set of 6.
Yeah. Did I hear there was a choice of gifts, or is it is it just a set of 6 glasses?
It's just a set of 6 glasses.
Okay.
So. Okay, let's go through the questions. First one from the graphics team. When would you rest Jesus?
Jesus never rests. Come on, guy.
Friday, maybe.
Sure. I mean, he was a doubtful starter this weekend, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
So I mean, one's got to look at that. We don't know what that cause was. I mean, and how serious it was, but he still made it on there. But I think only the medical team will be able to answer that. I think as long as he's fit, he must play. We don't have an alternative. In terms of a number 9 that's going to be scoring and creating the opportunities, not even scoring. You see, when he gets the ball, he just cuts the defense apart with it. And some of the best things he's done are the assists, where he's just, made a huge difference in the area. So I as long as he's fit, I think he should just continue playing. But, that's probably not, feasible to do.
Good Friday. We don't really.
Sorry.
We don't need him playing in the Europa League games. He needs to rest in midweek.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think he's got to play in the other games. Maybe Forest at home. We should have enough to beat them. They're a pretty poor team, but without him. I don't know. Going back to what Gav just said there, he creates so much when he's there and he pulls it all together. That run that he had in the last home game where he went down the line and beat about 3 or 4 players right along the line, that was sensational. So he's been a great player so far. He hasn't scored quite as many goals as I thought he might have done, but his assists are fantastic and he holds it all together, as I said earlier.
Do you think the PSV and Southampton games would be a good time to rest him? And play Eddie in both those games.
What, the second leg, Alex? We need to win Thursday. He's got to play Thursday.
Yeah, but I imagine I'm sure that Arteta will be thinking home game. We got the extra push of the home crowd, so I don't know. So you could almost you'd play a lesser team there and still expect to get the result.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't start Eddie on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sounds like home game, play Eddie, expecting to still get the result because you got the advantage of whatever home crowd support, all that stuff, and then give him a break. And obviously having the bench, if things don't go the way you plan, you kind of bring him on. Otherwise, you walk away with a win.
Okay. Next question: thoughts on Gabriel?
Yes, I mean, I've been following this thing, and I don't know, I think he's getting a bad rap, like proper. And I think it's partly because of how well Saliba's doing. So Saliba's doing is like the golden boy, and now every mistake Gabriel does is like being, magnifying glasses being shined on it. And one of the comments that I've listened to recently is like, makes sense. Like normally with a centre back pairing, you need two different types of players. One that kind of is the aggressor, and the other one that like reads the game and positions and whatever, and sort of provides a cover. So I don't think there should be any questions whether Gabriel starts or not, right? Even with these mistakes. I mean, I think the guy's passion, his aggressiveness, it's like, I don't know, it adds something to our team. Yes, he has to, learn to curtail it, learn to manage it better. But before the season, Gabriel was one of our star players. I mean, a lot of us were wanting him to be the next captain when we were still looking for a captain. And I think there's been like a big change in narrative around him, which is, I don't think, useful, and probably adds to some of his frustration with the ref, because he's I don't know. I think the guy needs a break. We must accept that he is good. He's not a defender that we had before. The great Socrates and what's that other guy the German that we had?
Mustafi.
So Mustafi. Yeah, I mean he's better than that.
Yeah,
and he's still young. He's going to improve. So I don't know.
I think if you looked at his stats yesterday against Leeds were very good.
Yeah.
So and he has been pretty solid. He has had a mistake in it. I'm more concerned with his temperament. Like City game last year, he got sent off, didn't he? Probably cost us the game. And yesterday, he could have cost us the game there with his temperament. Just the way he whacked. Well, he didn't whack. He just stood there with Bamford. But the way he put his feet up gave the opportunity to the referee to make a decision. I saw afterwards, Xhaka was having a real go at him, saying, "Look, you've got to calm down, mate. You're being bloody stupid with some of these things that you're doing." So hopefully he's listened to Xhaka and he will calm down a bit. But he's a decent player. Saliba's been very good, hasn't he? But then again, he made a mistake yesterday. Saliba made a mistake against Man United and also yesterday. So he's not without mistakes as well.
Yeah. How do you think that Gabriel will cope with Haaland? I mean,
Gabriel, probably not at all. I would probably put Saliba on Haaland.
Yeah.
I don't know. Putting anyone on Haaland is quite a difficult task, isn't it? It's almost like mission impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's 6'4" and
he might have the height and strength that Saliba has as well. But I think that's between the two of them. That is, that'll be the test.
Saliba's got the pace, hasn't he? He's got more pace than Gabriel, I think. But
it's done us a big favour not playing City this week because we should have played on Wednesday night. So
that's right.
The fact that game's been rearranged has done us a massive favour.
I think
huge.
So.
Yeah. Next question from Yasin. Question to the panel: was our win against Leeds the mark of champions to win the way we did?
I think it's a sign. It's an indicator. Yeah. I know. I mean, maybe the question around the Liverpool game was, is this team, like good enough to challenge? And so I mean, that question was like, yes, we are good enough to challenge. We got that from the Liverpool game, and now the question is, are we going to challenge? Right. So obviously, there's a chance that things can fall apart and we end up not challenging. So like the win against Leeds was this team is challenging. It's like that was the answer. And obviously it's not yes, no thing, not black or white. That question will keep on popping up. But we are challenging for the league, guys. This is like a big indicator that this Arteta is talking in the dressing room about fighting for the title. So man, like give us some more of that stuff.
You have to win ugly sometimes, don't you? You can't play like silky football every game because the opposition won't let you. And I think we did win ugly yesterday. And we touched on it earlier. The resilience of the team. The fact we dug in and got a 1-0. In seasons gone by, we would have either drew that game or even potentially lost it. With the crowd getting into it. So we've got to acknowledge, as we've already said, that we've won 9 out of 10 games in the league, and what, 13 out of 14 is it, or 12 out of 13? Yeah, 12 out of 13 all season. I mean, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's great. So the side clearly have got a lot of guts, and they're playing together as a team as well. I think that's the other side. They're all, there's a real team spirit there. So let's just hope it continues.
It just makes losing to United so much harder to accept, doesn't it? I mean,
we wouldn't have lost that game, Gav, if Partey had played.
I know.
If Partey hadn't been injured, we would not have lost to United, because he would have.
I agree.
We would just beat on the day. We didn't lose it.
Two of those goals were Lokonga's positioning. He was well out of position. I don't think we would. I think we would have beaten United, and probably quite comfortably at Old Trafford with Partey in the team.
Okay,
I know it's hard to swallow. Put it that way. Of the game that we've lost,
Next question from Kingsley. Why is Tierney not playing at left back?
Well,
this idea of Tommy playing left back is.
Well, I don't know. Well, what I was telling you, remember when the Leeds game, when he did bring on Tierney, he brought on Tierney for Saka or somebody, and then he moved.
He brought on Tierney for Ben White and took Ben White off and put Tommy over the other side.
Yeah, and I think that was a bit of a telling sign. I think that he kind of acknowledges Tomiyasu is better suited to right back, number one. So expect to see Tomiyasu playing more right back. I think Ben White also looks a bit fatigued. I don't know, because he played that game against Bodo Clint in the week and came off, I think, in 70 minutes, and came off again earlier. So I think Ben White's running on fumes, and he needs a break basically. And also wouldn't surprise me if we see Ben White take him. I'm not that his performance have been great, but I just think the manager's thinking this guy physically is struggling. So I expect probably on this next game on Thursday against PSV, he'll start Tomiyasu right back and start Tierney left back. And then he has options in them, to cover for Saliba or Gabriel. If he wants to give either of them a break, maybe bring in Ben White to play centre-back pairing, just because obviously there's less running there, so he doesn't have to exert as much effort as playing as in the right-back position.
He might give Cedric a game Thursday as well. He's not played, has he, for a while, so he's got to be fresh. I know he's not that good, but, he might play him against PSV, and he might give Gabriel a break. Rob Holding will play Thursday, definitely, so it's just a question of who's going to play alongside him.
Yeah. Okay, next question. With Saka being watched as a star winger at the moment, do you think with a bid big enough, we'll let him go?
See him go? No chance. No chance we let Saka go.
Not unless he wants to go. Is the answer. I think if he wanted to go, he's still young. He's 21 years old. He could play for us for another 5 years and then go, and he'll be 26 and at his peak. I don't think we'd sell him at the moment unless somebody came in with like 150 million or something. Then potentially you got to consider it. But otherwise, because of his age and his potential and the fact he's playing really well, he's scored 4 goals and 4 assists in the last 4 games or something. We're not going to let him go at the moment. I can't see it. But obviously, unless he wants to go, and you don't know how much of it's being fired up by agents, do you, and things like that. So,
but he's a Hale boy, so you believe he wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, man.
I mean, if we missed out on Champions League football, for example, at the end of the season, that might be a factor in him deciding that he wanted to go elsewhere.
But that's why they have to get this extended contract in now. Saliba, Saka, this is like while we top of the log, while we kind of have some bargaining power. It's like, guys, we in this project, we're gonna win the league, sign for us and forget about the money, do it for the love of the badge, and I don't know, let them sign whatever. That's the best price you're gonna get. So the club has to.
They all want 200 grand a week though, Charlie. That's the problem. And if you give it to Saka, then Martinelli's going to want that, and Saliba's going to want that as well. So, you've got to balance the book somewhere, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question from Warren. Who from our B side impressed most so far?
Vieira.
Vieira, yeah.
Yeah,
I would have said
he's
after, after that first Europa League game, I would have said Marquinhos, but yeah, over the fixtures that we've had, yeah, Vieira, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he came on against Leeds though and looked absent.
Yeah,
mind you, Leeds were very good.
Okay, next one. Question. My question is, or Gabriel right man at the right? Okay.
I think we've answered that.
Gabriel, the right person to be partnering Saliba at the back.
Yeah. I think we've answered that already. I think
the problem is
we haven't lost faith in him. It's just the fact that he makes a few silly mistakes from time to time. I mean, I saw a comment coming up earlier. Is he our next Xhaka? Yeah, where people hate him forever and then suddenly love him to death. You know. So, but yeah.
He's the only left-footed left back that we've got. He's the only left-footed centre back we've got. That's the problem. Unless Tomiyasu plays in the middle. I mean, he used to play at centre half when he was in Italy, so maybe that's another option.
Tierney's another option, playing at centre back. I'm not sure it's a great option, but people say Ben White should bring him back into centre back position. But my issue is with Ben White in the centre back position. He's not got the height, and he's not very good at aerial balls either. Which Gabriel is actually. That's one of his best. That's one of his main strengths, I think, is in the air. We would miss that, especially from corners, set pieces.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next question from Neil. How many points do you think we'll get from our last 5 EPL games before the World Cup? We've got Southampton home, Forest home, Chelsea away, Brighton home, and Wolves away.
Southampton's away.
Southampton's away, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's away.
Yeah, man, I think we'll win our home games, though. Forest home win, Brighton home win, will be tough. Away,
Brighton home, is that in the league?
No, that's not. That's a cup game.
That's a cup game, isn't it?
We've only got one home game now, the Forest game before the World Cup. There's no other games at home.
Three away games and one home game, and then the Brighton games. What's it? Carabao Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think
so. We only have 4 league games from now till the end of the
we've got to win. Yeah. We've got to beat Forest. Obviously, I think we will. Southampton away. You know, we should beat them. They're not a very good team, but you know, we got
beat us last year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Chelsea away will be a tough game. Yeah, Aubameyang's obviously going to be up for it. Although they have got a couple of big injuries, haven't they, with Fofana and Reece now? So Brighton at home. Brighton are a good team. You know, that'll be a tough game. Wolves away depends who they've got manager by then, and what's happened after the new manager comes in. They might get that bounce a little bit, mightn't they? So, that's a difficult. How many points do you think we'll get?
Come on, we're gonna lose. Let's say we're gonna lose 2 of these. What you have to call them? Which 2 do we lose? We have to lose eventually, guys. I mean, this is like football.
Well, out of the 4 league games that we've got.
Well, the 4 league. I mean, law of averages says we're going to drop points somewhere.
You can't drop points anywhere. It's going to be Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah, I think probably Chelsea away. I don't know if we'll lose, but we will definitely drop points. I think Southampton and Forest we should be 6 points in the bag. That's what I said earlier. I think coming away from this Leeds one, we're gonna it's be in a really good place. Wolves they're just not performing. So I think we should get points there and probably drop points from Chelsea.
Sure.
They're struggling for goals, aren't they, Wolves?
I think we lose at Wolves.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I think Wolves, I mean, they've got the stuff to really hurt you. And I think they're turning the corner.
On their day, for sure.
With this interchange manager, this caretaker manager. So I don't know. I think that's the one where we definitely will take a loss there, probably. We can move on.
No, we won't lose at Wolves. They're struggling for goals. You've got bloody Diego Costa playing centre forward, haven't they? Oh dear.
Yeah.
And what we've got to do at Wolves is score early, get ahead of the game.
They've scored 3 all season. They've scored 3 goals all season, Wolves.
Yeah, that's why they lost the coach. They're going to be a different animal. In 2 weeks' time, Different team.
I just say it's actually impossible to get 11 points, Warren. I'm pretty sure it'd be 10, wouldn't it? Rather than 11. Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Where is Zinchenko?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Wait,
I know. He was
think-
never
do you
playing
think-
injured at City,
do-
was
do
he?
you
He was
think-
never injured there.
I think he was a little bit, you know.
Was
I think
he?
we probably just didn't notice it because he rotated so much. But he did pick up injuries. Do you think City have let him go knowing that he's going to get injured a lot?
So,
No, that's a good question, actually, to be honest. I don't know. I think he's been good when he's played, but, you know, he's doing a party, isn't he? He's playing one game and missing two, you know, and that's not good. We need him fit.
yeah.
Because he's another one that can play in midfield if we're struggling in midfield. You know, he can play that role. So, we need to get him back. But I've not seen anything in terms of return date. You know, we've got to get through these next 4 weeks, haven't we? Those games, and then we've got the World Cup, and who knows what's going to happen after the World Cup? How many players come back in from that? So,
Okay. We've got to run through these. These are a few jokey questions. Can you please explain why the universe hates me? My fantasy league selections, and why Tony scored twice for Brentford after I sold him to get Saka into my team.
Well, the universe hates you because you support Leeds.
I was going to say, where were the Leeds United fans when you got them?
Yeah.
And everything else is irrelevant.
And then we got one from George. Question: what is going on with Holdings here? He's almost got a mop top now. Wasn't he going bald last year?
That is the best comeback since Dirty Den in EastEnders.
He had a hair transplant, didn't he? That's why. He did, genuinely.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, quiz.
Did anyone get the anagram, by the way?
Oh, jeez.
Not yet. Just do it again. What was
Was it Jules
it?
Grimondi? Was it Jules Grimondi?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Grimlock.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Decided
Dennis
Grimlock.
No, it's not Billy Bergkamp, is it? There's no L in Bergkamp.
Yeah, no, hey. Oh, man.
It's a. I'll give you a clue. It's a player from the 90s. That narrows it down. He was a sort of a midfielder, kind of winger type, but not very good. Brought in the George Graham era. I'll give you another clue. It's Muck in the title, in his surname.
Oh. Mick.
Muggut.
Okay.
Nah.
First name Eddie.
Eddie. Eddie.
Neil's got it.
Yeah,
Eddie
Eddie
McGoldrick.
McGoldrick.
Ball guy. Was it ball?
Really?
Yeah.
Was the ball player? I don't know. No, I think it now.
Eddie McGoldrick. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was rubbish.
Yeah, he was
He was
rubbish. Sorry, Eddie.
Oh, Lord.
I thought I'd go for a trickier one there. But anyway.
No, you stumped it there.
So, Alan Smith scored the opening goal from an indirect free kick in the famous securing win at Anfield in 1989. But who took the free kick? Was it A, Mickey Thomas? Was it B, Paul Merson, Chelsea fan? Or was it C, Nigel Winterburn?
Sure.
I think it was Winterburn. C.
I'm going with Paul Merson.
Okay, I'll go Michael Thomas.
He was always fighting for free kicks. So.
Okay, one of you are right.
Yeah. And the answer is, it is C, Nigel Winterburn. Got a buck. And question 3. A fast-paced winger, I started my professional footballing career with...
Barry Groves.
and you as soon as I saw it, Mark would get this in about 3 seconds. But no, it's not very gross. It is very gross. Nice.
Well done, Mark.
Yeah,
he wasn't a bad player actually. He was did okay for us, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Week ahead.
So coming up, the form card. I mean, it's looking pretty good, isn't it? 5 out of 5 last 5 games.
Not bad.
So couldn't get much better. The upcoming fixtures, PSV and Southampton. And then PSV again, and then Forest. I mean, you look at the next 4-5 fixtures actually before Chelsea, and you go, we should probably win all of those, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Haven't PSV got that winger that we were looking at? That
Gakpo, yeah. Who's actually hasn't he got more goal contributions than Haaland? I mean, he's banging in lots of goals. I mean, it is the Farmer League, but it does look pretty good. I think Man United were after him as well, weren't they?
Yeah, probably. Well, they spent all their money on that donkey Anthony, haven't they? And he's rubbish.
Yeah.
85 million quid.
It's a pony, Mark. One big pony.
Terry Groves is better than him.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, hold on, graphics team, calm down. What are we doing? Upcoming fixtures. Ours have been postponed. So if you've got Arsenal and City players in your fantasy team, get rid of them now. Temporarily, of course. Play your free hit.
Play your free hit, yeah.
Any potential banana skins for anyone there? I suppose the biggest fixture there will be Man United Spurs.
Oof. Come on, United. I'll be supporting United that one.
Yeah, we could do with United beating Spurs, couldn't we?
Yeah.
You'd expect Liverpool to win at home. Fulham will beat Villa. I think Villa are rubbish. Newcastle will win.
Newcastle will beat Everton for sure.
Do you think Brentford could be a banana skin for Chelsea?
Yeah, potentially. It's a local derby, isn't it? And the crowd will be up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ivan Toney's looking pretty good. Would you take Ivan Toney? Would you try and bring him into Arsenal?
Ooh, a good question. Yeah.
There's too much bad blood there, man. Now after that tweet, he's all over the Arsenal or nothing. What's that series?
Yeah, he sent the tweet out, didn't he, saying nice kick about with the lads, and they bounced it back at him this year after the 3-0. I think he's a decent player. Yeah, I mean, we need another centre forward. Whether that's Tammy Abraham as we get from Roma, or whether we get Tony. Tony's probably going to cost too much money. They're not going to sell him for less than 70 million, probably. So, I think he'll be in the England team, actually. I think he'll be the backup striker to Kane in the World Cup. So that's going to inflate his price as well.
Yeah.
So I'll make one comment, Alex, about that City-Liverpool game. I thought Bernardo Silva was outstanding. Yes, sis, that guy. Yes, sis. He's a proper footballer. And even though they lost, he was the one that just, I don't know, like pulling the strings, like doing all type of dirty work. And I don't know. I was just very envious of him as a player, hoping we could get something.
But the reality is, he only got me 2 points in my fantasy team. So
yeah, man. Fantasy league, dude. It's not the real life. In the real life, you want Bernardo Silva on your team. Okay.
Okay, let's move on. And
Next slide, please.
Yeah.
You got Chelsea, United. United's got two.
Yeah, United have had some tough fixtures.
Yeah.
How do you see that one panning out?
Chelsea's going to need that one.
Think?
Yeah, I mean, but one thing, Potter is not doing too bad there. The guy really stepped up. I mean, he hasn't lost the game yet. So, and he's looking
I think he's won all of his games, has he?
Yeah, it's always games of the 6. So he's got the magic touch at the moment. So I'd expect him to pull one over Ten Hag.
Yeah, United are rubbish. They're Chelsea will beat them, definitely.
Spurs, Newcastle.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting game.
That would be an interesting.
They're obviously playing midweek, both of them. So Newcastle depends which Newcastle turns up. You know, if they turn up and they look good, they might get a draw there.
Yep. Awesome. Head to head. Yeah, we lost last year.
Yeah, I think the fatigue set in last year, though, didn't it? Towards the end of the season.
Yeah, it was late in the season. Yeah,
our squad was particularly light after the January transfer window. I thought loaned out too many players.
Yeah, well, they haven't got many goals in their team. Again, it's all about getting the first goal. If we score the first goal at the weekend, we'll be fine.
Looking at, I don't know. Well, going to a place like that, for me, you can't come there half-baked. Like, I mean, we can't put in half-baked performance at St. Mary's. We'll get turned over. So I'm worried about that game, honestly. I think it's like depending on what he wants to do against his PSV game. So he has to choose one. So either PSV,
Eddie was
rest of players.
Yeah.
Do you want to see? Yeah. Do you want to see the latest Gooner?
Hey.
Nice.
This is baby Caspian. He's a Gooner,
Awesome.
aren't you?
Welcome.
Of course he is.
How old is he?
He is 4.5 months now.
Oh, great! Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh.
I'll
Here
just
we
hand
go.
him back. That's it. That's part duty done for the day.
Okay, let's get to the fun part. Predictions.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Arsenal to win it 2-1. Huh? It's not going to be pretty again, guys.
Southampton.
Oh, Southampton. Sure. I'm worried about the game. I'm going to go for 1-1 draw, and I think it will be a good draw, a good point.
Ooh.
Gavin?
Ooh, not full of optimism there.
I think 2-0 against PSV to Arsenal. And I've Southampton is too weak at the bottom of the log. I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Mark?
1-0 to the Arsenal, to quote a song, for the BSV game, and Southampton 2-1 to us. Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna go 3. Oi, I'm gonna go 3-1. 3-1. 3-1 to Arsenal for PSV, and I'm gonna go not 2-1 to Southampton. I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal.
Please. Okay, I'm going 1-0 and a goalless draw.
Goalless draw at Southampton.
Oh.
Yeah. After my 5-0 prediction, I'm just going to go on the go the extreme.
Jeez.
What were you thinking? 5-0? Really?
Hey, I mean, did we battle Leeds last season? Was it like 4-1 or something last season?
Yep. Yeah, I just thought that they're going to come at us, and we'd like that. We're going to
I was pretty happy that we got a clean sheet against Leeds, to be honest.
Yeah,
that was the hard part, not conceding.
Warden seriously not agreeing with me there. We're going to hammer Southampton. Warden, I do hope so. I honestly hope so.
Sure.
Okay, guys. Don't forget to check out the Arsenal Cape Town website. Details on the screen. There's some nice little articles to read, and you can obviously check out Ronnie's podcast on the website as well. There's a special section there for Ronnie and his.
How many guys do we get in the pub, Naseem, these days down there? How many people do you have for home games?
Well, I was there for the Spurs game. There was quite a few people. I don't go every week. I think Warren can answer that for other games, but the Spurs games it was full. I'd assume that the Liverpool game was also quite full. I'm not quite sure about the weekend. Yeah. And don't forget about the predictor game. Put in your predictions for all our Premier League games, and the table looks nice because I'm moving up there. Warren's also doing better this season. I think Warren was dangling at the bottom last season. Well done. Awesome. And then is it the winner of our audience question is Brad. And Brad's question was us selling Saka if the big enough bid comes in. Brad, you need to collect your prize from Warren at the pub. He'll have it there waiting for you.
Will you fill it up with beer?
6 beer.
All 6.
Yeah, you could possibly fill it up with beer right there. Go ahead. Cool.
Great.
Just before we go, can we spare a moment to just think about that Saka goal? I think we haven't really commented enough about how brilliant that goal was from that angle. Top corner of the net. Just spare a moment.
What? Yeah.
It was.
Do we need a minute's silence here?
Yeah.
With his wrong foot, Gavin, as well. He doesn't shoot enough or cross the ball enough with his right foot, and it was a sensational.
But he didn't do much else. I mean, he was other than threatening, but that was just outstanding. It just really.
Look, Gavin. After that Boda goal, he had to do something to score a better goal than that came off his chest. So that
Anyway,
great. All right,
cool.
So that wraps it up then. Thanks a lot for coming on the show, guys. Thanks.
You're not going Thursday, Alex.
Believe, guys. Believe.
No, I'm not going Thursday. I'm going to the Forest game though.
Okay. I may see you there. Then I'll be at the Forest game. I'm going Thursday as well. So.
Yeah, we'll have to sort something out for the.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you at the Forest game.
That'll be good. I heard that there's talk of the supporters clubs getting together in the boardroom. I'm not sure if that's happening. I'll chase up with Warren on that.
It's a good event. If you've never been in there, it's quite. The boardroom's lovely, and it also I've represented the club many times at those meetings, and if you're down, Alex, and you want to go because it's
100%.
It's really good,
definitely.
And chatting to the other supporters clubs as well. And Mark Brindle, who we've had on the show before, is a great guy as well.
Yeah.
He hosts it.
Yeah, is it happening at the Forest game? Do you know?
I don't. I wait to Warren. I sent Warren a note the other week saying there's not been a supporters club event for a long time, and let me know if you'd like me to go. But I don't think he'd heard anything. Perhaps he'll send a note on that anyway.
Yeah. Great. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for all the comments. Always much appreciated.
Let's hope we're still smiling next Monday. I'll two
one thing
more
for
W's.
certain, we'll still be top of the log, yeah. So we'll be smiling.
Well, not necessarily. I suppose if the Spuds won tomorrow and won on Saturday, and we don't beat Southampton, we may not be. So, not being pessimistic or anything.
Awesome show. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you later, guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.